hard that game was for us. I thought that Reggie had his team extremely well prepared. They challenged all our defensive fundamentals. I'm not so sure I've ever seen a team hit as many shots as the buzzer going down. They must have shot 70% under 5 seconds on the shot clock. I thought that the game plan on P.J. Savoy was excellent. They were determined that they were not going to give him any real good open looks. I'm saying that because it caused us to have to make a lot of adjustments. When a team is executing their defensive game plan as well as they were. And then not only they really overplayed us and took certain spots away from us on the floor that challenged our ability to be consistent. For instance, we like to try to make 120, 115 passes. In a half, we only were able to make 74, 75 passes. Not because our kids were playing selfish, because their defensive schemes made us stagnant. But I was proud of the fact that we were able to make adjustments. There were times in the game where I thought we moved the ball very well. The things that has been concerning us is how long is it going to take for our rotation players to start figuring things out. I thought they played a little bit better tonight. I thought our energy was good coming off the bench. We got 51 points off the bench, which is high in anybody's book. We still need to. We're still showing some periods where we got to get better. We can't be as stagnant on the offensive end. We can't sometimes try to attack as quick as we did. I thought in the first half and part of the second half. Overall, I'm pleased. The effort was good. I thought that we had great energy coming off the bench. I thought we were making progress with our younger players, our first-year guys. Overall, I'm pleased. But I take my hat off to this team. This is the hardest, toughest 30-point victory I think I've ever been a part of.
Questions, please. Leonard, they had two really good guards that can, well, three really, that can make shots, whether they're challenged or not.
Yes.
It seemed like you guys challenged almost everything. How happy were you overall with the way you guarded those guys?
I thought we did a pretty good job, no doubt about that. We trying to concentrate on making progress in those areas. And we're going to play against those kind of guys in the ACC every night out. And we got to figure out a way how to contain them and contest a little better, do a little better job and trying to make them miss. It was obvious that if you gave them a good look, they were not going to miss during critical parts of the game. I think we're growing up a little. I want to see how consistent we're going to be as we move into a tournament where we're going to be facing opponents that are equally as talented and well coached. These early games that are challenges like this, I think it's going to serve well for us as we try to give our guys an idea of what it's going to be like as we prepare for the ACC tournament. As we move into this tournament down there, I mean, we got to be ready to play. Also, on any given night, if you're not ready, something bad can happen. I think you've seen all the outstanding games that have been played around the country, and some of the teams that have been favored have not come out on top. We don't want to be one of those teams.
Keondu with the dunk midway through the first half, and you guys were trailing at that point. He brought some energy and then went on to have a career night. What do you think about his contribution?
It was obvious that we need guys to play with that level of energy. You know, we challenged them. We need to have energy coming off the bench, and I thought we got it for the most part. But I don't want to have to be highlighting someone having exceptional energy coming off the bench much longer. That needs to be our identity. You know, we're trying to develop an identity that's consistent. And right now, we're not quite there yet. But that was a great play. I thought every one of those guys came in and made good plays. I don't think there was anyone that came in the game that didn't give us some spark at some point. That's what we're looking for. We need to have energy coming off for those guys, because we think we've won games as much with 6 through 11 as we have with 1 through 5.
Coach, at one point, Canisius only brought the lead to only 6 points. How do you manage to encourage your guys to continue to trust the process? How do you encourage your guys to continue to trust the process?
Well, we're growing in that area. There's no doubt about that. I mean, for instance, we had several possessions, far too many, where we made one or two passes and guys tried to make plays without moving the defense. So when a team is set with their defense, you need to move the defense so you get a high percentage shot. And it's not a selfish, it's just that they're adjusting to the way we have to play with this team in order for us to be successful. In other words, we need to constantly be trying to create high percentage shots for each other with ball movement and player movement. And we had some moments where we didn't execute that very well. And I don't think it's something that's selfish. It's just learning how to play at this level in order to give yourself the best chance to win.
Devin, you talked about guys that brought a lot of energy. He played 14 minutes tonight. He had 10 points, but he also had 3 steals. Just how impressed have you been with him?
Devin has some instincts that allows him to make plays, offensively and defensively. He's athletic enough that he can physically do things because of his athleticism, but his anticipation of deflections and steals, the way he breaks on balls and anticipates, his timing is excellent. And I don't think you just see a glimpse of what we see on a regular basis. And on top of that, he's a sponge. He accepts coaching. He's eager to learn. Sometimes he's not a guy who's stressed by making mistakes. He takes corrective. He takes criticism with a smile on his face, where he just wants to get it right. I think that he has a chance to develop into a really outstanding player for us. We just hope they continue to keep progressing, and I believe he will.
Leonard, is there any update on Phil when he might be available?
Not really. I mean, we're trying to get him out of the boot so he can just start doing some walking on the Ultra G. I think, I don't think he's anywhere close to being ready to play right now. I think we're a ways away. I think he's getting better. It's one of those things we just gotta let nature take its course.
With the way you guys played, swarming after shooters, diving on the floor a lot, is this team kind of giving you the energy? I know you're not where you want to be. It's the 3rd game of the season. But does it have in its DNA that kind of energy?
We had a little bit more energy tonight than we did in New Orleans. But that's part of the growth process. This doesn't happen overnight. You know, that's just a process we got to go through. We want to make progress, but in order to make progress, you got to go through the process. And sometimes that creates the anxiety with players from an individual standpoint, because they're competitors, they want to play, they want to contribute, and psychologically, sometimes when things are not going well for them, sometimes they don't always handle it well, and that's the magic level that we're trying to get through. Trying to get guys to buy into playing and keeping everybody fresh, and that's a challenge, because there was a period in the second half, as well as they were playing, I could see that they were fatiguing because of the number of players that we were running at them. And we didn't necessarily have our most experienced players on the floor at that time, but we had some young guys that were playing with a lot of energy, and we were able to make some plays, get some stops, get some rebounds, get some outlets, and pushing the ball like that as hard as we have been doing, sometimes fatigues people. And there was a period there where I thought that was the difference in us being able to get some separation.
With the energy, just how much of the test is kind of the three games over 4 days against some pretty good teams this weekend?
Well, there's no doubt that we're going to be challenged, and we need full complement of all our players playing well in order for us to be successful against the quality of the competition that we're going to be facing. This is a good opportunity for us, and we were down a couple of points there late in the second half, I believe. I mean, the first half, right? When we down 2-3 points, but there toward the end, once again, I thought the quality of our depth, took its toll on them there toward the end of the first half, and we were able to get a little more separation They cut it to about 8, I believe, a couple of times. But once again, I thought that fresh bodies were able to go into the game and give us a little boost of energy. And I thought then there was a period where I thought we just broke them because of we threw a lot of guys in. It wasn't because they wasn't trying hard, they wasn't executing, and we were giving it a pretty good effort. They're a good basketball team that are very well coached.
Are you all set?
All right,
Coach?